Hey y'all, I'm Lorenzo, and I just want to talk about listening, and not just regarding like parents and stuff, because we all know we have to, and we don't want to anyway. We don't do it, but I'm just talking about in general because nowadays people really just don't listen because they're mostly talking, which is kind of weird because and ironic because I'm talking too, but um, that's not my point. Um, my point is just that people nowadays just are more focused about themselves, and they don't think that they pretty much just think they know everything. And in that regard, they just tend not to listen to other people because it's like, oh, you don't have anything relevant for me. Like why should I care what why should I care what you tell me? And it's like it gets worse, especially when it's people that you may not like as much, or that you resent at the time and stuff, or even if it's just they're telling you something that you already know, like parents do. They're like constantly reminding you things. But my friend once told me that you have to just like good advice can come from anywhere, and he used this example about a homeless guy. He said that if a homeless guy told you uh, basically value your money and keep your money safe and stuff like that, like would you listen to him? Chances are you wouldn't, but I'd say you should because, for one thing, he's homeless, so he probably knows what he's talking about with money. Not with keeping it so much, seeing as he's kind of got no money, but more of that he knows the value of money, and it's like, especially if he's saying that to like some rich person, they are most likely just gonna blow him off. Like they won't even listen to him or even look at him, maybe. And it's kind of that way with soccer too, because when I was training about 5 months ago for soccer season and stuff. There was this one guy um, who I really didn't like, and because he's just really cocky and he thinks he's just all that, and he's really not like. But no one tells him that because he'll figure out at some point. But he's pretty good at soccer, so um, I asked him at one point, how can I shoot better? And, you know, even though I hated him, he still gave me good advice on how to shoot. And afterwards, I started shooting the ball a little bit better. So both of us kind of benefited. I boosted his ego, unfortunately, and you know, and I got better at playing soccer. And that's all I wanted. I mean, that's kind of the point of soccer practice. So, um, and I mean, it doesn't just really apply to that because I mean, think about it like with say things that you already know. Um, it's it's like, especially with like parents and stuff, because they will constantly remind you things like wow, I just blanked, but I can't think of anything they do tell you. But regardless, everyone knows that they do say like a lot of things, like they remind you. It's like they get annoying, and you know it's like, especially now, like with teenagers and stuff, like, and I'm speaking from experience myself because I'm a teenager myself, 17, but it's like we think that we know everything, and honestly, we really don't. We're all just pretty much stupid, um, and I know it's generalizing, but just bear with me. Um, and regardless of whether you know it or not, like there's there's always a chance to learn something new. Like if I'm listening to a topic, like say in math, which is disgusting, but say the teacher's talking about something that I think I already know. Sure, I may already know it, but I could just reinforce my knowledge, just by listening to her or him or whatever. And you know, I could, and there's sometimes, more often than not, there's something in there that you didn't even realize you didn't know, and you'll miss it, and then you'll end up maybe screwing up your next test somehow doing that. And it's kind of a commonplace thing. Um, so that's another thing, and let me think. There's one more. Oh yeah, um, it's like with especially like with kind of more hypocritical kind of things. Like how people like let's say an alcoholic. Like if if an alcoholic tells someone, oh don't drink or don't get drunk, let's say, um, they'll say, oh, screw you. Like what do you know? You're an alcoholic. Like but you know there's still some knowledge to be gained from that because you know what? He's experienced it firsthand that, you know what, it's like maybe he wants to stop. Maybe he's in rehab or he's trying to stop it himself or like they're doing intervention or something like that on him. Like, I don't know. But like all the same, you have to admire him because, you know, he's actually trying to stop people from doing what he's doing or and becoming an alcoholic and stuff. And like I'm not trying to tell my life story here, but it's kind of the same thing that happened with my family because um, my parents got divorced when I was like around 8, and everyone, or well, most people were telling my mom, oh, just go back to my dad. Like you should have stayed, and you know, because it's mainly because they just didn't understand that what it was actually a pretty bad situation to be in. Like you don't want anyone else to experience that. Like that's both of our mentalities. So it's like we don't want anyone else to experience that. So we're trying to basically tell everyone oh well if there's like spousal abuse or something like that just speak up, go for help, stuff like that and you know sometimes people will they just don't understand and you don't want them to understand it because you don't want anyone to experience that. But just like it just basically the whole thing is that good advice can come from anywhere. And instead of just blowing it off like the majority of us do nowadays, actually take the time to listen because you could gain quite a bit from it too. Like if you want to be a little bit more focused on how it'll benefit you. So anyway, that's all I got for today, and I will talk with y'all later. Peace.